All right, back at it again. If you didn't see the first video on the carbon srt4, go watch it. It'll fill you in where we're at now. All right, I got my hood up. I do have the doors open. I think it's in the 50s today. Nice enough to open the doors, but still not warm. So I'm going to be getting the fuel tank out. I'm going to show you tightening up the fitting and what I do to get the fuel line and everything else fitted up underneath of this. I was able to get, like I said, we had this side assembled. I now have this side assembled with the PT spindle. The brakes and everything are all assembled. We actually have an axle in. Trans is now full. New clutch master here to install. So we got to get in there and do that, but we're going to be doing some other things when we do that. Still need to get 2 bolts for this, but we're going to be able to have our fuel system completely installed. The alternator stuff is done. We're going to be able to get this fitting on and maybe tackle a couple other things in this video, but time to get this tank down. So how I do this is this is bolted onto here so your lines run across, and if I get this out of the way and I let that hang, then I can get the tank down. My goal is to, hopefully I can sit a jack stand here. It'll bring this side of the tank up high enough. I can just pull the fuel tank assembly out. Look, here comes Muff to say hi. Hey, I need some help. Can you unbolt that? Here's the gun. All right, so we'll pull that out. We'll double check our fitting, make sure it's tight. And then we'll reinstall our fuel tank. That way we're not having to pull everything out to get it out. Like I said, hopefully there's not too much fuel in there. And then, like I said, I have the new clamps, new bolts to fix this up. We'll get everything zip tied nicely away from the exhaust and permanently so that it doesn't fall down. All right, so pretty easy to pop this out right here. This was the one that was a little loose. There's like wire teeth there maybe. Let's see if you can get in here. You can see the back. The outer part actually comes through, and then it has a nut that goes over it with the seals. I just got on here with a wrench. It didn't even take really a quarter of a turn to snug this thing up. So I'm gonna get this back in, get this half full fuel tank reinstalled, and then we can get on these lines. Get that lens cleaned off. All right, tank is in. I started putting the lines up. Let's take a look, see how they came out. All right, so I have the filter fitted there, and I kind of, normally I run these on the other side, but I'll take a zip tie and I will zip tie these on top, okay? And everything will come up pretty freaking tight. All right, now I'll have to get this here fitted in here yet, but we have room. We can get these turned back some or however, and I can zip tie them here. Everything seems to be pretty decent so far. There, now I'm gonna slide in here up through. All right, I did put this on here so that I could get this tucked over that way. All right, I'm gonna stick another zip tie on here because I'm test fitting up on the top. So I have one here holding. So let's make sure that we're not going to drop down here. All right, there we go. So these pretty much lay in here like that. All right. All right, now I have them run up along the side. We'll go up top. Let's check them out. All right, now that we're up top, we can actually take a look at this. Hopefully you can see in here. This is the return hose. This one is the feed. If it's stuck on here where this comes out, it actually comes out down too far here. So I put a piece of tape, and I feel if I bring it up to here, it gets everything tucked up nice. So it doesn't seem like it's that much. It's like 4 inches here. And like, I even thought about tucking it in behind, but then this is what you end up with. Still ends up coming up over too close to where the alternator is just to get it to fit. So we're at the point where I'm going to drop this down and then bring it out the side over here and cut it off. And I can get that fuel line fitted in. All right, just make it real quick. We got everything tidied up. Everything's plugged in, zip tied. Everything's good on the bottom. So here we go. Everything now is fitted up very nicely. We have everything running up through. I mean, I don't know why this bugs me, but that's just the way the wire wants to lay. It keeps wanting to pop down underneath that. We did remove the fuel line. Look how nice and everything all the way up through. Okay. Now up top. Put a sealer on there to make sure that ground doesn't corrode. All right, now that I have this up here, I wish I would have took another inch or two out of this line here too. But I'm just gonna zip tie it in there. It is out of the way a little bit further than what it should be. Maybe I'll just run it in behind this one and then screw it, and then I can pull it up in. I still need to get these 2 bolts here because they're way too short to hold into this. And they're only touching like a thread or 2 here. And seeing as it's fuel, I don't want this thing falling off, even though there's going to be zip ties and everything holding it in place, because we will have vibrations. So I have to get those. Right now, I can probably, I'll see about maybe fitting this up to make sure that I can still get in here with some wrenches to make sure that I can access this stuff here to tighten it up. And then I can get this in. And then we're moving over to some other things. We got to get ground wires on. We got to get this stuff run and a couple other things. All right, it's been a while. I just had a lot of other stuff going on that needed to be taken care of. But I'm getting back to the car here. We did have the fuel system all hooked up. I believe I showed that. Let's just take a quick look. Grab a flashlight. All right. So I needed to get the bolts for the regulator. We have them in. I actually got long enough ones, and I put little lock washers on. So everything here is nice and locked in. We've got everything zip tied back away. I still got to fix the alternator cover there. Right now, the wastegate and everything's in. I got all of my stuff positioned. I really want to try to find some wrap because I feel heat's going to gather in here and we're going to end up with some issues. But we have our extension coming down over for our O2 sensor. Ground here. Ground here. I think that's where the 2 factory grounds are. I might want to try to add something else. All right. Like I said, real quick, check out our fuel system. All right. Everything clipped up nicely. So we no longer have a line wrapped out around here on our dump tube. This stuff is pushed back over there pretty far. Pretty much right about where the stuff normally is when the stuff is together. So, I mean, that's that down there. We're going to go up top. All right. So, like I said, we're down to that right there. I got a new master cylinder here. We're going to be getting that installed so we can get this clutch bled out. We're going to be doing that in another video. Trying to go through here, get stuff picked out. Like I said, I did remove this. Got that stuff figured out. It's back together. Everything is re-hooked up with our harness. It's all run correctly. Fuel line down through here, really nice. Nothing looks like it's bound up at all. Looks pretty freaking good. Turned this hose down just a little bit. Like I said, our trans is in. We got the other spindle on. And all that stuff is together. So with that, I'm just going to end this video here. And hopefully we'll have this thing running in the next one. I got to get the clutch thing figured out. And basically, you know, just like goofy little stuff. Try to fix up like this. Put this ground wire up. We're gonna get our charge pipe back in. I'll get that trimmed up. Where is it? I had this. Like I said, they had this on there with this coupler, but I think this got damaged. So this coupler here is no good. So like I said, I'm going to, there's another one. I'm gonna try to rig it up, see if I can get it clocked where I don't have to trim too much. Either I'll order another coupler or order one that's like a 22 or a 45. Probably more like a 22, depending on how that fits in, because I think that's what comes with them. But I'll show you that finished up in the next video when I'm getting the clutch line taken care of. And I figure that'll be something good, because this is actually the newer what is it, the Clutch Masters kit, actually down inside here. Looks like it's got the little fuzz fabbed filler plate there too. So we'll get all this together and we'll show you in the next one. See ya.